Now, you're very welcome back to the show. Brendan and Terry Ring lost their daughter, Cliona, aged 15, to an inoperable brain tumour. Clionas Foundation was born out of their devastating loss.
Now, at least 1,400 children in Ireland are critically ill today, and Clionas Foundation gives financial aid for non-medical expenses to families who are dealing with a sick child and, of course, for life-limiting illness as well, a child with life-limiting illness. Thank you both for coming in to us.
Welcome.
Tell us, I suppose, first about your daughter, Cliona. You discovered that she had a brain tumour quite young.
Yes, she was 7 when she was diagnosed. She was in school and she was walking up to the blackboard, and as she walked out for somewhere like this, she hit against the blackboard where she should have known that it was. So that was an indication that her vision wasn't 100%.
Beautiful little girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Holidays, yeah.
Yes, so lovely. So after that, then you brought her for the test, and you quickly discovered that she had the tumour, and you quickly discovered as well that it was inoperable.
Yeah, that's correct. It happened very quickly. That was a Friday afternoon, and by Sunday we were here in Cork. We live in Limerick.
Yeah.
And we met a consultant, Mr. Marks, and he said it's a possible tumour there, and Monday morning, yeah, we got the devastating news. So
you sent the scans into the UK, to America and to Oz, and they all said the same thing?
Yeah, don't.
All the very same.
All the very same.
Inoperable,
Like,
yeah.
Inoperable.
Yeah,
I find it actually amazing just reading about your background, and the fact that you had to tell your daughter then the fact that she was suffering, and that you had to talk to her about this, because the road was going to end eventually, and there was just no way that she could be helped.
No, and you know, her brain tumour, as we got to know it in time, that the name of that changed as she got older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was called Little Apple in her head, and you know, we got through the tough times we were at the beginning by almost making light of it, really. And obviously, as she got older, she started to realise how serious this was, and in between all of that time, she had many visits to different hospitals. So,
and pain as well, you know, because as a tumour is growing, I mean, I do know this from a friend, you know, it gets very painful, and she had to endure all of that as a very young girl.
She did, Maura, but having said that, she wasn't in an awful lot of pain.
I know they put a stent in, that type of thing to relieve it. Or the shunt, I should say.
Yeah. When she became unwell, it was inevitably if that shunt became blocked, and she would have to go into hospital then to have that revised. But the tumour didn't cause her serious pain. She led a great quality of life for 8 years after that. Really very good.
And as parents then, I suppose, Brendan, I put myself as the breadwinner in the house, so the dad in the house who always protects the child and stuff like that. How did you feel when you heard that news?
it was devastating, and yeah, as a dad, you know, you say you've got to be positive, you've got to look at the best side of things. And I also believe that, you know, for a mum carrying a child and then for this news, it's that little bit extra hard. So I think I was aware of that, but we were always positive about Cliona's illness, and we always took, you know, looked at the bright side. And in fairness to Cliona, that was her great strength, that she helped us to get through her illness.
And I know you did so much with her, which was great. You know, you all knew she was going to pass away, but you went on holidays, you travelled, you did everything. You just said, that's it.
Yeah.
So you're really. And after she did pass away, and what age was she when she passed away?
15.
She was 15.
A month short of her 16th birthday.
After that, you found notes all over the house.
Yeah.
That she had left you.
Did you know about these beforehand?
Well, she was a great woman for the pen and paper, really.
Yeah.
She loved little notebooks and pads. She said when she was going to grow up, what would she like to have? And it was a pen and paper shop. And, you know, it was just, she was never a huge scholar, but she'd leave notes, and if she was under pressure, if things were bothering her, she'd write it down and she'd leave it there. And we found those up to very recently.
How many of them did you find? How many notes?
Oh, numerous.
Yeah. And what type of stuff was written on them, Brendan?
Very light-hearted stuff sometimes, but Terry might tell you about it. One note we found after Cliona was buried, actually, which is very touching. But everything from, Dad, are you going to bring me out somewhere in the evening for a drive when you come home from work, or can I stay over with my friends? And if she had some things that she really wanted to get through to us, she had a big love of Childline. For no reason other than maybe she identified with other children that were ill and that they had causes. So she communicated through her notes, and we used to call it a note from Cliona. And we had little pads made for her, so she used to leave those in different places for us.
I know that you have one of those notes that you've typed up, and you got it typed up, and you keep it, and you carry it in your glasses case.
I do.
Do you want to read a little bit out?
Yeah, yeah.
And is this a poem, or is this taken from something in school? Or?
It was in school.
Okay.
Yeah, she did it with one of her teachers in school. Yeah. It's actually on her headstone as well. Despite my illness, I face the challenge of life with love, kindness, hope, and a strong spirituality that all will be well. I make the best of every situation, even on my weakest day, as I know life can bring its ups and downs to everyone. My illness makes me appreciate and value each day that I can get out of bed, go to school and meet my friends. I give thanks for this, and my only wish is that everyone will find the strength and courage that I have been blessed with. I love my life.
She surely had strength listening to that.
Yeah,
but you know what? That's amazing. But you
Yeah,
guys
they're
took,
great words.
you know, you taking that, I think you must have taken inspiration. I know this is hard for you to do because you're
Oh,
told
no,
like this.
I'm fine about
you know,
it because,
yeah.
you know.
But
yeah.
you took that strength and her courage, I
Yeah.
suppose, to go ahead and actually set up Clionas Foundation, which
That's right.
is so good because it's something that, you know, people get help, financial help in various areas maybe along the way when they've got a sick child, but they don't get help from the basic things of putting petrol in their car or childcare or doing the laundry or when they have to stay in
This is
hospital.
the only one in Ireland as well.
Yeah, we are. We're a unique charity in Ireland that we provide financial funding for their non-medical day-to-day expenses.
Yeah,
But,
and I'm
but,
just
but
looking
they're
at
the
it,
expenses
yeah.
more, as we were chatting about earlier,
Parking,
that
that type of thing.
really add up. You have parking, you have tolls,
Yeah.
you have petrol, you have staying overnight and stuff. No one even
Food.
thinks of them.
No, and you don't, and that's why we have Clionas Foundation, because we were on that journey for 8 years, and the money you require to keep going is astronomical.
Especially if you don't live close to the hospital and you have to go up, say you're in Dublin or Cork or somewhere, you have to come and stay in a B&B or a hotel and all that. And tell us, you know, I'm looking at some of the stories here. What type of people have you met along the way that really must have been in desperate states if they have children that are sick for an awful long time, critically ill children? Or
Yeah, well, we're kind of the last cause, really, that people come knocking on our doors looking for financial aid. You know, these families are really struggling with day-to-day costs of living, and then when a child is diagnosed with a long-term illness and there's huge costs involved in it, you know, they're at a really critical stage, and we do everything we can to give them a financial support to help them with all those things you just mentioned: parking, food, substance, overnight accommodation, and many, many more. Well, like, we live in Limerick, and we had to go to Crumlin for 18 months with Cliona, either on a train or driving. Huge costs involved in it. It's unbelievable.
You're just trying to make the burden just a little bit easier on lots of people.
The last thing you want to do is worry about finance when you've got
enough things to be
there's so
worrying
many
about.
things, I know, but unfortunately the worst thing is you can't really do much unless you have the money to do it. Even basic stuff like buying food or parking your car or even driving your car in
phone,
it.
you know.
What type of people have come to you? I mean, are they from all walks of life?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We've met people who have been destitute. We've met single parents that are struggling as a child, needs to travel to Crumlin. There might be 1 or 2 children left at home. They're in a very deep and a dark place, and they don't know how they're going to make ends meet.
Well, it's great, and thank you so much for coming in.
And we know Cliona's anniversary is coming up next Tuesday,
That's right,
and we certainly will be thinking of you guys.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Lots of people.
Do you know what? And people will know, just even watching it today, that you know you've taken the dreadful loss of your daughter and made something really positive from that. Thanks. We have the little booklets here. We'll put it all on our Facebook page as well. But Brendan and Terry, thanks for coming in and reading those lovely words for us as well.
Thank
now,
you.
if you want to help out there, text Cliona, Cliona, to 50300 and donate €2 to Clionas Foundation. And, you know, charities coming up to Christmas, this is definitely a good one.
Now, the winner of today's competition comes from Limerick. Tara Creven, well done to you.
That's very well done. And thanks to all of our guests today, of course.
Yes, on tomorrow's show we have more fashion and feast, and we have Mike Gibson, who's going to tell a story of how he walked away from this. Whoa.
We shall see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.